in that, let us know. We use this format, this um, Zoom room to help with the explanation of everything, and we try to work using live charts to give us those opportunities to trade. If you have any questions, or if you would like to expand your horizons a little bit, let us know. Try to work with you. All right. See here. We have any other numbers coming out this morning? Well, we do actually. We've got National Association of Home Builders Market Index coming out at 9. Atlanta Fed Business Inflation Expectation coming out at 9 at the top of the hour. So we shall see what that brings. Yields on the 10-year are at 375-ish. So they have definitely upticked here a little bit. We talked about 85 basis points or so with the 2s to 10s, and so kind of do the math here, about 460 there on the 10s. Again, very inverted yield curve, very much so. All right. All right, so you can see here we did come off of our blue band just a little bit. Again, we have price action opportunities for those of you who are a little bit more aggressive. I don't talk about those as much. I mention them every now and then, and again, it's up to you if you want to take them or not. It all depends. Everybody here has different risk tolerances, as you can imagine, and some people trade multiple contracts, some people trade one. Your goals, everybody's goals are different. I mentioned some of them. I don't mention all of them. I did mention the blue band there, as well as the green band coming up there around the 31 area. And our resistance area that we have is up at there at 34. We did have retail sales come out this morning, and retail sales came in stronger than forecast. They were up 3% versus 2% expectation. Again, further strength in the U.S. economy, which should be good, but that is a problem for the Fed, right? So you have it's pushing back on the fact that there is recession and maybe soft landing type of scenario versus the other half where it's going to be also suggesting that we're going to have more interest rate hikes, right? And this is where the market is kind of this little quandary here as to what's going to happen next. As you can tell here, for the last few days, we've been trading in a little bit of a range here. So 42 to 40, pretty much. We've been in this this whole month for the most part, from 4,000 even up to 42. So far for the whole month, we've been in this range, and probably, consolidating in this little area here until to figure out what it wants to do next, right? Not a surprise, but at least we're, day to day, we are having some opportunities to trade. So, but this is where we're at. That's why we're at a 4,000 handle or 4 handle, and we're just trying to figure out, the market is trying to figure out where it wants to go next. So. So again, we're inching up. We're having a little bit of trouble getting above our blue band there. Just an average. Anybody have any questions? Welcome to some of the new folks that are here. Please feel free to ask in the chat. We don't mind any questions that you might have. Again, we do this on an everyday basis. So we're here every day. So let's see here. Central Bank is on the radar again as Bernard leaves the number 2 role at the Federal Reserve to head up the National Economic Council. In her position, she'll coordinate economic policy across the executive branch amid the battle over debt ceiling and could possibly entertain an even bigger role in the near future. While she has passed over once to become Fed chair following the high stakes interview at the White House, the new move could put her within reach of the top spot, or becoming a future Treasury Secretary as she builds a rapport with the Biden administration's inner circle. Bernarda was known as one of those most dovish members of the Federal Open Market Committee, urging a somewhat less aggressive approach into fight against inflation. She has advocated for slowing the pace and intensity of rate hikes, providing a counterweight to the spectrum of policy, which especially when compared to the FOMC's hawks like a couple of other governors, Weller and Kashkari. While President Biden could nominate a new Fed vice chair with a similar stance, it may not be as easy for the appointee to forge policy concessions through persuasion compared to institutional respect Bernard received by serving on the federal board since 2014. She has also chaired 4 out of the 8 subcommittees on the Fed's Board of Governors. Bernard has brought a formidable talent and superb results to everything she has done at the Federal Reserve, said Powell in his statement. And the lengthy list includes her thought leadership on monetary policy, economic research, her stewardship of financial stability and payment systems, strengthening the financial system both domestically and globally, and helping to manage immense operational agency challenges during the pandemic. My colleagues and I will truly miss her. So she moves on. You never know what's going to happen, but she was dovish. Again, she's making policy. They're making policy for interest rates, and she's going to be gone. So, so we'll see how the Fed deals with that. And I guess they're going to be staying on this path of interest rate hikes for a while. At least now they're saying at least three more rate hikes, probably a quarter apiece. So we're talking about another point, which I don't know. That brings the 2-year note up to over 5 and closer to 5.5. I don't know. It's kind of goofy, especially the 30 years don't match up or even come close. So we'll see. All right, we've come quickly up here to our 34 area, which again, we talked about as being some resistance, got up to 33 and change. Hopefully you were able to jump in there around that 34. Again, we are not going to be perfect. We mention this all the time. We have to scale in around our area. You can see a big order there at 30. So if you did jump in there, maybe you were able to get in front of that and had a nice almost 3-point rotation against the 33. We're still on the same bar, so it's nice to know that I got filled there, and I look around and I gotta cover my little trade there just in time. But again, you can see the price action there. There's a big order there at that 30 area. So if you have the 30, take some profits and then see if we can't get a little bit less lower here. As they took that 30 out, that 4, and those orders are always there to take out, by the way, those big orders. You can play against them once, but then they do seem to be taken out as we come a nice rotation here against our 34 area. Again, got up to 33 and a quarter, so hopefully some of you were able to get in there at 33, depending on how you scale, right? Everybody scales a little bit differently. If you're trading on one lot and you had 34 and you didn't get filled, obviously, That's all right. You'll have another opportunity and another trade. You don't have to, obviously you need to get it on that first rotation up to give you a good chance to make to take advantage of the rotation. Scalp. If you didn't get them, I would say that that level becomes a little bit more tenuous and a little bit more riskier. A lot more riskier now that we didn't get up to 34 straight up, but we did get into that area, and some of you definitely should have been able to scalp around it. We have orders on both sides of the both up above and below an area there, so that gives you a chance there to take advantage of the rotation if we're not perfect. Again, if any of this stuff interests you, let us know. It did go right up to that upper end of that range there, as you can see. So again, nice rotation there against our 34 area. If you're trying to stay short, just have a trailing stop. How do you see the big orders? It's in the ladder ticket. I mean, you can see, you see the bids and offers in your ladder ticket. So there was a big 400 lot there at 30. It bounced off of it and then came back and took it out. Like right now, it's, there's 40s, 50s. There's hardly any 100 lot orders in there. So it's on your ladder ticket. The bill, how many are bid for and how many are offered.